There's the alarm. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our workshop session. And at this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll. There's
Adams.
the alarm.
Here.
Good
Bartlett.
evening, everybody.
Here.
Welcome
Cook.
to our
Here.
workshop session.
Hopkins.
And at this
Flanagan.
time, I would ask our city
Odom.
clerk to please call roll.
Scott.
Here.
There's
Adams.
the alarm.
Here.
Good evening,
Bartlett.
everybody.
Here.
Welcome
Cook.
to our
Here.
workshop session.
Hopkins. City Attorney Beard.
And at this
Flanagan.
time, I would ask
Thank
our
you.
city
Under the
clerk
mayor's
to please call
report
roll.
tonight, we
Scott.
have
Here.
a presentation.
Here.
and a review
Good evening,
from
everybody.
our
Welcome
Cook.
to our
distinguished
workshop
chaplain of
session.
the Police and Fire Department.
And at this
Mr.
time,
Alan
I would
Bradley.
ask
Thank
our
you.
city
Under the
clerk
mayor's
to please call
report
roll.
tonight, we
Scott.
have
Here.
a presentation.
Here.
and a review
Good evening,
from
everybody.
our
Welcome
Cook.
to our
distinguished
workshop
chaplain of the
session.
Police and Fire Department.
And at
Mr.
this
Alan
time, I would
Bradley.
ask
Thank
our
you.
city
Under the
clerk
mayor's
to please call
report
roll.
tonight, we
Scott.
have
Here.
a presentation.
Here.
First of all,
Good
I'd like
evening,
to say,
everybody. Welcome
thank
to
you
our
Distinguished
workshop
chaplain of
session.
the Police and Fire
to the
Department.
mayor.
At this time, I would ask
Thank
our
you.
city
Under the
clerk
mayor's
to please call
report
roll.
tonight, we have
Here.
a presentation.
Here.
First of all,
Good
I'd like to
evening,
say,
everybody. Welcome
thank
to
you.
our
Distinguished
workshop
chaplain of
session.
the Police and Fire
To the
Department.
mayor.
At this time, I would ask
Thank
our
you.
city
Under the
clerk to
mayor's
please call
report
roll.
tonight, we have
Here.
a presentation.
Here.
First of all,
Good
I'd like
evening,
to say,
everybody. Welcome
thank
to
you.
our
Distinguished
workshop
chaplain of
session.
the Police and Fire
To the
Department.
mayor.
At this time, I would ask
Thank
our
you.
city
Under the
clerk to
mayor's
please
report
call roll.
tonight,
Shelter
we have
accommodation.
a presentation.
Here.
First of all,
Good
I'd like
evening,
to say,
everybody. Welcome
thank
to
you.
our workshop
Chaplain of
session.
the Police and Fire
To the
Department.
mayor.
At this time, I would ask
Thank
our
you.
city
Under the
clerk to
mayor's
please call
report
roll.
Shelter accommodation.
presentation.
Here.
First of
Good
all, I'd like to
evening,
say,
everybody. Welcome
thank
to
you.
our workshop
Chaplain of the
session.
Police and Fire Department.
Mayor.
At this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll.
Shelter accommodation.
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our workshop session. At this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll.
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our workshop session. At this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll.
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our workshop session. At this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll.
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our workshop session. At this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll.
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our workshop session. At this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll.
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our workshop session. At this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll.
I'd like to present
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our workshop session. At this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll.
like these presented.
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our
What I'm saying,
At this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll.
like these presented.
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our
What I'm saying,
At this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll.
like these presented.
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our At this time, I would ask our city clerk to please call roll.
like these presented.
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our
like these presented.
Here.
Good evening, everybody.
Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our
like these presented.
Here. Here.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our
like these presented.
Here. Here.
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 Casco amended, there's up to state codes, freezing material wasn't. I don't think it'd last as long. That's my thinking on that.
Sure, and again, I don't know that much about asphalt, I honestly don't know anything about it. But do we ask them to make sure that it's state grade when we get the bids?
Well, usually when you do something like this, it's quite expensive, you know, so you don't want to put something that's not gonna last 4 or 5 years. 'Cause you only want to do it once every 5 to 6 years, Willie.
Contract when from I-3, the $2.5 million no bid contract on, I've been saying that we need to do more bidding at this council. And I think it could be, depending on the price range, anything, it doesn't really matter. I think it might be more hassle for stuff that's less than 20,000, but I believe that we should do a request for proposal on almost everything. And then I believe there's a 2% or some percent for local over and outside. You know, the local can have 2% over. So this is just another example of why we need to be contract bidding these proposals.
I think, you know, $7,000 is quite a lot of money over, you know, the lowest bid. And I don't know, what is the big difference between the two materials, or the materials?
I don't have it right in front of me here, but the material the other guys use, the heavier material, is denser, it's thicker. The first coat, and they're gonna router the cracks out in the parking lot and fill it with real rubber sealant, not just another coating. And the second top coat will have silica sand in it to help give it a better base to drive on, and freezing didn't have that. And freezing was just gonna blow the cracks out with an air hose and fill them in with that crack sealer. As these other two guys are actually gonna groove them out and pour the hot rubber mix in it.
So you're getting a different product.
Excuse me?
You're basically coming down, we're getting a different product?
Yes.
Okay, so that's kind
It's
of between these.
It's a lot heavier material, lasts longer than the other stuff will.
I just want to clarify, because I know you said something about the two having to be able to get state bid. Being able to work for the state bid is just different regulations and paperwork. I don't know if it is quality of material or not. So that was my question too. Are the materials comparable to each other? And it sounds like they're not. So we've got bids on different material.
Well, freezing, I just, he just didn't, he gave me a sheet with not much to it, and the other two guys gave me a complete breakdown of material. I went back and asked him, he said, well, this is what I have.
May I suggest you get more information and bring this up at the next meeting for a vote?
Okay.
At that point, I would just definitely ask if, the difference in the components or the materials that's going on the lot that we're looking at.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
I guess okay.
Item number 2, discuss quote to purchase a new pickup truck.
Okay. Well, as you all know, we lost a vehicle last month due to a wreck. It was totaled out. Nobody was hurt, so that was good. I've been checking used prices and not having much luck, so I called Morrow Brothers for the state bid price on a pickup truck. And they have one, a holdover down there from last year. And it's equipped the way we need it. And it's $28,085 for the new truck. And like I said, I've been shopping a lot of used, and you just can't find anything used for under 19 to 20,000. So, and they've all got 110, 20,000 miles on them. So, I'd like to go with this bid from Morrow Brothers on the state price for the $28,085.
We get anything from the insurance company from the accident?
Yeah, the insurance company, I think, could give us a check for $2,800 towards the old truck.
And how many miles did you say this truck has?
That Dodge had 190-some thousand.
The new one you're wanting to purchase?
The new one, it's new.
Brand
There's
new?
no miles. There's one another township order and they didn't take it, so he's got it on his lot.
No miles in warranty.
Like I said, we'll usually get that, the assistant superintendent will get that and we'll just pass the trucks down for the summer help. Because the truck was wrecked, it was actually our paint truck the summer kids used. So,
And number 3, discuss quote to purchase a used utility vehicle.
this one here is for the water treatment plant also. It's a used John Deere utility vehicle, which is basically a gator with a dump bed on it. It's got a lift, bumpers, and a hoist on the front of it. And it's a 2015 with 570 hours. And the price on it is $10,900. And that's what it is on that one. It would be used around the water treatment plant and over down at the old treatment plant site and spillway to haul brush and clean up the yard and move dirt. And that's,
Don, is that in the budget? Is that in the budget?
yes. All three of these items was in the budget. All three of these items in the budget except for the pickup truck. The truck wasn't in the budget. Well, that's,
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Just, Les, did you have anything to add on the seal code? I mean, I know that's more your specialty.
Rick, I don't know, who the freezing, is that local? Is the freezing local?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's no brainer to me. I've done a lot of seal coating, I probably seal coated every parking lot in town at one time or another, and there's a difference. The $7,000, that's probably, there's a reason why they're so low. I mean, it's closer, what was the third bid? They use a polymer,
we'll get more information on that, but thank you for your input on that, Les, and thank you, Rick. Backing up, my apologies, but we will go back to Planning and Public Works, Alderman Aaron Scott.
Got one item, discuss a TIF application. Kelly got some information on that? Sure.
Can I take this thing off while I talk? Is that okay? Phew, thank you. Good evening, everybody. We have one TIF project proposed for us this evening that we want to talk about. And it involves the 59 East Central Park Plaza building, which has been vacant forever. It was the old Denny Jewelers, and we're ecstatic that we're finally going to get something going and something moving with that building. Mr. Matt Summers approached me and filled out an application for some assistance. He is putting in a total of $90,309 personal dollars into the rehabilitation of this building. He is doing some roof work, some front facade, and adding an ADA restroom, another one to the inside of the building. He has requested in his application 50% of assistance, and that is typical with what we usually provide. The review committee met, and it was unanimous approval of the 50%, which comes to $45,154. Okay, and Mr. Summers is with us this evening. Matt, would you like to add anything, or if you have any specific questions for Mr. Summers? He's here.
Did you say he was putting in 90,000 and we're?
Yes, his total cost for the entire project is $90,309.
So he'll put in, it'll be a 40-something match.
We're gonna provide 50% assistance through the TIF at $45,154.
We've already invested about $27,000 on the inside, the back half of the building, in the last few months prior to this application. So I'm not sure, I think that's where you're going, how much more are we investing and have we invested?
No, I didn't want you to get shortchanged. If you were gonna put 90, I wanna make sure the city put in 90.
We'll make sure he gets it all. One quick thing before I leave you, just a little tidbit. I ran through some numbers. We haven't really talked much through this whole COVID mess, and I thought it was kind of interesting through the end of 2019, through the year 2020 and up so far to date. We've done 9 projects, and it doesn't really seem like we've done that much, but there's been private money leveraged in the total amount of $519,000 in the downtown TIF district. That's private money. And the TIF has provided $184,000 of that. So for every TIF dollar spent, we're leveraging $3 in private funding. So that is terrific. That's exactly what the TIF is supposed to do. So sometimes we get tied up, and I know a lot of you could care less about the annual audit report with the TIF, but I thought I'd just throw out these numbers for you. You know, $500,000 in private investment in the last year and a half is fantastic. And we were able to provide, you know, round numbers of 185,000 of that. So the TIF is doing good. We're still doing projects. Everything's still moving along. So I appreciate your assistance with that.
Keep in mind as you vote on this, Matt was willing to do something nobody else has been willing to do, and that's buy that building. And we've fretted over that for years and years and years, whether it was Mr. Denny wanted to sell it or whatever.
That's great.
Matt's really providing, like Kelly said, he's really helping fill in a big void downtown. So.
Any other questions I can answer?
I have one question. Matt, can you tell us what your plans are for the building?
Yes, ma'am. So some things are a little bit subject to what the market brings, but we've already got a tenant in the back. Jared DeGroot, a local sheriff's deputy who's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu teacher, has a really nice school. If you haven't seen it, it's awesome. It's like the nicest school in town in the back third of the building. There's a whole middle section that we've been talking about several different businesses to go in there. It's a really big building. And the front half is huge. It's about 52 feet by almost 90, just the front section. But it's been really unusable and undesirable because of the lack of glass and windows. It's all closed in when Denny's closed it in for security. And this is not great, but you can kind of see the darkened glass windows. That's kind of what it's going to look like, all new, to look like old-fashioned glass, but it'll be new modern glass, so a lot more desirable for a tenant, because you can see what's inside there now and more attractive on the square, plus better for utilities because it'll be modern glass. So that's going to be up for rent once this is done, that space. Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Yes, sir.
I guess one more question. I was noticed the jiu-jitsu school in the back. Its address is actually on the square, but it's located off the square. So I see that you're a fireman, but I was just wondering if there was the EMS call that they'll know where to go.
Yeah, it's kind of a zoning question, but I think you'd be talking about the same address, but just like an A, B, and C suite.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. They would just need to coordinate that with the inspections department. Clarify
Okay.
that. Yep.
Good luck, Matt.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Kelly. Thank you, Captain Summers. Any public comment at this time? No public comment? We will adjourn the workshop session. And I'd ask the clerk to please call roll.
Here.
Bartlett.
Here.
Cook.
Here.
Hopkins.
Here.
Flanagan. Odenettle.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
Wankel.
Here.
Wormowski.
Here.
Williams. Mayor Ezra.
Here.
City Attorney Beard.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Is there a reading of the minutes tonight?
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Alderman Hopkins, second by Alderman Adams. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any petitions this evening? And any communications?
We have two communications.
Okay.
We have a request for a roadblock at, let me see, what's the street? Farrell and Beasley to Farrell and Clay for a private graduation ceremony. And I've talked to the chief of police, and that shouldn't be a problem. And that is for, I don't know what the date is. Didn't give me a date. Anyway, we've done that before over in that area anyway. The second one is a request for a community park for a cross-country invitational by Breck Van Beber, and that is for October 2nd, 2021. It's a Saturday, and the community park from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. It is the Jacksonville High School and Jacksonville Middle School will be hosting the Dan Moy Jacksonville Cross Country Invitational again this year. Again, they've done that before.
Good.
So, any questions, any comments? We'll go ahead and get those scheduled. Thank you.
Any claims?
No claims.
Okay, any words of wisdom from Alderman Wormowski or Alderman Adams or Alderman Hopkins? No? Good job, gentlemen.
I'd like to say that I think that the city's done a good job at trying to move into the future. There's a lot more that we need to do to get that accomplished, and just keep that in mind going forward.
Thank you, Brandon. Okay. Steve or Jeff? No?
I appreciate the opportunity that I've had to sit up here and represent my ward and the city. I just looked at the new aldermen, look at that as an opportunity, and they look at the city as a whole when they're doing and looking at projects. It's been a pleasure to work with all the aldermen sitting up here. We've argued, we've gotten along, but it's been worth it. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Thanks for all your hard work, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
At this time, I will, the swearing-in ceremony, and we'll have Deputy City Clerk Angela to swear in Mr. Skip Bradshaw.
That's not you. That's not you.
No, mine's already gone. Just read it.
Oh, okay.
Mine's already up there.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Dennis L. Skip Bradshaw,
I, Dennis L. Skip Bradshaw,
having been elected as city clerk of the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
having been elected city clerk for the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of city clerk to the best of my ability.
of the office of city clerk to the best of my ability. Yeah. Now we go the other way. Yours is up there too. Just raise your right hand, please, Angela. I, Angela Salyer,
I, Angela Salyer,
having been elected as mayor, as deputy clerk, has been appointed. You want to be the mayor? He'll give it up. Having been appointed deputy clerk for the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
having
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Deputy Clerk
of the office of Deputy Clerk
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Your forms are up there too, so. I'll try this again. Try to get you in here, okay? Yeah. Mr. Mayor, raise your right hand, please. Swear, I, Andy Ezzard,
I, Andy Ezzard,
having been elected as mayor
having been elected as mayor
of the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
of the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I'll faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of mayor
of the office of mayor
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
4 more years. At this time, we'll call up Mr. Ron Smoljenic.
Thank you, Mr. Skip Bradshaw.
Ron, just raise your right hand for me, please. I, Ron Smoljenic,
I, Ron Smoljenic,
having been elected as city treasurer
having been elected as city treasurer
of the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
of the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of city treasurer
of the office of city treasurer
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Ronnie, congratulations. Ms. Darcella Speed? Oh, she could not be here tonight. She will be sworn in on May 10th.
May 10th. Yep.
Ward 2 Alderman Lori Large Odenettle. Try to get the glasses so that it don't go. Yeah, that's better. Not really. It'll work. Hi, Lori, again. You raise your right hand, please. I, Lori Large Odenettle,
I, Lori Large Oldnettle,
having been elected as Alderman Ward 2
have been elected as Alderman Ward 2
of the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
of the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Alderman Ward 2
of Alderman Ward 2
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
New Alderman Allison Ruben DeSellis. Allison, raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I, Allison Ruben DeSellis,
I, Allison Ruben DeSalles,
having been elected as Alderman Ward 2
having been elected as Alderman Ward 2
of the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
of the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Alderman Ward 2
of Alderman Ward 2
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I'll get your signature here. Congratulations. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Congratulations. New Alderman W. Kent Hannett Jr. Kent, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, W. Kent Hannett Jr.,
I, W. Kent Hannett Jr.,
having been elected as Alderman Ward 3
having been elected as Alderman Ward 3
of the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
of the city of Jacksonville, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will
of Alderman Ward 3
Alderman Ward 3,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Mr. Michael Wonkel. Raise your right hand for me, Mike. I, Mike Wonkel,
I, Mike Wonkel,
having been elected Alderman Ward 4
having been elected Alderman Ward 4
of the City of Jacksonville, Illinois,
City of Jacksonville, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Alderman Ward 4
of Alderman Ward 4
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Mike. And new Alderman Mary Watts. Mary, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Mary Watts,
I, Mary Watts,
having been elected as Alderman Ward 5
having been elected as Alderman Ward 5
of the City of Jacksonville, Illinois,
of the City of Jacksonville, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Alderman Ward 5
of Alderman Ward 5
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Welcome. Congratulations to all the new aldermen.
Okay, we'll start the agenda and city attorney's report.
Thank you. The one item I have is first reading of an ordinance amending the Jacksonville Municipal Code, Chapter 3, alcoholic beverages, adding a liquor license for El Patron Authentic Mexican Cuisine.
Is there a motion on first reading? Alderman Cook, seconded by Alderman Scott.
Be it ordained that the Jacksonville Municipal Code, Chapter 3, alcoholic beverages, be amended, adding a new liquor license for El Patron Authentic Mexican Cuisine.
Any discussion?
Where's this located?
Lincoln Square, the old El Rancherito, the old Italian restaurant to Lyra.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? I would ask the clerk to please call roll on first reading.
Adams,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes?
Odenental, Scott,
Yes.
Wonkel,
Yes.
Wormowski, Williams. Motion passes.
Thank you. Any public comment at this time? Okay, no public comment. Utility, I believe we're gonna pull number 2 for further clarification, or do we leave that on? I kind of got mixed.
I think there's clarification. Were we gonna do finance?
Huh?
Finance?
Well, the city treasurer's report. Go ahead and report that, Don. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have one item tonight. It's the city treasurer's report for March 31st, 2021, which you have received electronically.
And utility, Alderman Wankel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 3 items tonight. Number 1, resolution authorizing payments from the Waterworks and Sewerage Project Fund for war services rendered improvement projects. Number 2, resolution approving quote to purchase new pickup truck. Number 3, resolution approving quote to purchase a used utility vehicle. And I so move.
Is there a second, Alderman Scott? Okay, so we pulled that item. Is there any other further discussion under the consent agenda items? We have a motion and a second. I would ask the clerk to please call roll on the consent agenda.
That's with item number 2 pulled.
Pulled. Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Odenettle,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Wankel,
Yes.
Wormowski. Yes. Motion passes.
Very good. Committee reports tonight, Planning and Public Works, Alderman Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have 2 items tonight. Number 1 is the second reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 25, Traffic and Vehicles, Article 14, Regulations and Operation of Neighborhood Golf Carts and UTV Vehicles upon City Streets, Section 25-377, Permits Required. And I so move.
Is there a second?
Be it ordained that Jacksonville Municipal Code, Chapter 25, Traffic and Vehicles pertaining to operation of neighborhood golf carts and UTV vehicles be amended, changing the permit time from January 1st through December 31st, as well as establishing a program of reciprocity for other municipalities.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Seeing none, I would ask the clerk to please call roll on second reading.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Odenettle,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Wankel,
Yes.
Wormowski. Adams,
Yes.
motion passes.
Second item tonight is a resolution approving tax increment financing redevelopment plan and project grant agreement between the City of Jacksonville, Illinois, and Matt Summers for 59 East Central Park Plaza. And I so move.
Is there a second? Alderman Hopkins?
Be it resolved that the tax increment financing redevelopment plan and project grant agreement between the city and Matt Summers for 59 East Central Park Plaza is hereby approved.
Any discussion? I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Odenettle,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Wankel,
Yes.
Wormowski. Adams,
Yes.
Bartlett.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Any old business this evening? Alderman Adams?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. You worked with me and the city and Ameren to help get some lights turned on. I just wanted to report that last week when I went by, both of them were active from the last council when we talked about getting them active. So the Women's Crisis Center has light and some unlit alleyways around the square. I hope there's new owners at the new establishment there soon to be able to make sure that everyone is protected at night, so thank you.
Thanks for your work on that too, Alderman Adams. We'll try to keep up on that, and please be an advocate for that continuing.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other old business tonight? Any new business? Alderman Wormowski?
In the Alderman folder, there's a letter from Ameren. Just wanted to say that I talked to the project manager, and he indicated that there's no plans for this park. This would be a great green space for the city along a town brook. Maybe even like a water retention area or something like that. So to suggest the city talk to Ameren to see if they would be willing to pass this on to the city after it's cleaned up.
It's the property behind Taco Gringo?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been in discussion with Ameren, as far as remediation. There's some things that was not on our radar as far as, some water mains and some sewer. We've been back and forth with Ameren to try to get things moving while the ground is disrupted. So we will suggest that to them, and I appreciate you pointing that out. Any other new business tonight? Okay. Well, congratulations to the new alderman, and great work to the retiring alderman. And Juliet, can we go home now? Okay.
Juliet would like to make a motion to adjourn.
So Alderman Hopkins, second by Alderman Old Nettle through Juliet Jamison. So we are adjourned.